Welcome to this demonstration of the new Conditional Reorg feature of CA Database Management for IMS for ZOS. Major companies rely on IBM mainframes to store business-critical data. This data is often stored on high-speed, highly secured IMS databases. Over time, as your company grows, the amount of data and databases also grows. And grows. And grows. At the same time, your business demands higher availability, 24/7 availability of the data accessed by various business applications. To ensure fast response rates, IMS databases need to be reorganized from time to time. In the good old days, it was possible to reorganize every database every week. Then the number of databases grew. With higher availability techniques, such as online reorganization, it is still possible to maintain your 24/7 SLAs. But what about costs? Running a reorg regularly for every IMS database is expensive, very expensive if you consider your overall mainframe costs. So how can you reduce costs? By making the best use of CPU to reorganize only the databases that need to be reorganized. Using the new Conditional Reorg feature of CA Database Management for IMS for ZOS, you can skip the reorganization of databases that are already in good shape, and only reorganize those databases that really need it, thus saving a lot of CPU and money by not reorganizing the rest. Here's how it works. CA Database Analyzer collects statistics about each DBA and stores those statistics into CA's IMS Information Repository. Conditional Reorg evaluates the statistics against predefined thresholds and determines whether databases should be reorganized or not. Using CA Database Analyzer and CA Database Organizer, you can avoid performing unnecessary IMS database reorganizations. You reorganize only those databases that really need reorganization, which reduces your CPU consumption, thus resulting in savings to your mainframe costs. In order to implement the feature, first check whether the thresholds that were predefined by CA Technology's subject matter experts are optimal for your environment. Every IMS implementation is unique, and only the IMS DBA has the knowledge and expertise to adjust or set optimal thresholds for their IMS databases. We will now see how to set thresholds, which can be easily set for a group of databases, or for an individual IMS database, or even for a specific partition of an individual IMS database. Now we will walk you through the screens for setting up Conditional Reorg. This is the main panel for the ISPF application to set up your Conditional Reorg thresholds. You can access this panel from the CA Database Management Solutions for IMS main panel. First, you have to register your IMS environment. Use the administration menu to insert IMS ID and DBD library dataset name. You can insert more of these, for example, for production and testing environments. Then you set your thresholds for the databases using option 1. On the Set Threshold screen, you can see the list of thresholds for your databases in the IMSJ environment. The list always begins with the threshold models for database organization types. You can also see the date and time of the creation and last modification of the thresholds for each database. When you execute Conditional Reorg for a database that does not have any specific thresholds assigned, The thresholds are inherited automatically from the database organization model. Let's select the H02 database. This database has no specific threshold set up, as you can see from the lack of timestamps. Here you can view or modify all applicable thresholds. Pre-filled values are automatically inherited from the model for HDAM database organization. Each threshold is preceded by an activation field. If an asterisk is filled in this field, the threshold is used in evaluating database health. Please note that you can set up thresholds for dataset statistics differently for each database data set. To distinguish datasets, please refer to the DD name, which corresponds to the dataset statement in DBD. You can see some thresholds that are specific to HDAM or PHDAM databases, like the average number of root segments per root anchor point. You can specify minimum and maximum values. When CA Database Analyzer for IMS finds a value that is outside of this interval, reorganization is triggered. The space used threshold limits the percentage of high used RBA. If the percentage of used RBA is higher than the threshold, reorg is triggered. In this example, we increase the acceptable maximum number of used extents for database datasets to 15. We also define a space used threshold of 80%. Press PF3 to save the values and go back to the list of database thresholds. Now we see that the modified timestamp has changed based on our latest modification. Now you can run your conditional reorg job for the H02 database, and the new threshold settings will be applied and included in the database health assessment. Based on the threshold evaluation, the reorganization will or will not happen. Thank you for watching this demonstration of the conditional reorg feature of CA database management for IMS for ZOS.